Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this regional workshop that focuses on fruits and vegetables. My name is Erin McGuire, and I'm the Associate Director at the University of California, Davis's Feed the Future Horticulture Innovation Lab. I really wanted to be there with you all today due to a number of unforeseen situations and a lot of bureaucratic red tape. I have not been able to get my passport. It's, I think, lost in the United States Postal Service. So it is somewhat heartbreaking to not be there with you all today. I know you're going to have an incredible meeting, and the organizers at the University of Ghana have just done an incredible job. It's been amazing to partner with them over the last couple of months to organize this. And I just want to take a couple of minutes this morning to welcome you all, give you a little bit of an overview of the Horticulture Innovation Lab, and talk briefly about why horticulture is so important, which I know many of you already know and will be discussing today. So I will go ahead and share my screen, and we will begin the slideshow. Okay, great. So as I said, I'm Erin McGuire. I'm the Associate Director at the Horticulture Innovation Lab. And we are funded by the United States Agency on International Development. Our global research network works with and promotes local leadership to advance horticulture and social innovations, empowering smallholder farmers to earn more income while better nourishing their communities. We are funded by USAID, as I've mentioned, and part of the Feed the Future initiative. We're led by UC Davis. Our director is Dr. Elizabeth Mitchum. And then we also have a consortium that we work very closely with. We have specialists in gender, nutrition, and youth engagement. And actually, our nutrition specialist is there, Dr. Christine Stewart. And at the end of the presentation, I'll give her a moment to just stand up and wave, since she will act as our representative, since I won't be able to be there. We also have other partners: Florida A&M, Michigan State University, Texas A&M, and World Veg, who some of you may be familiar with. They have on-the-ground operations in several places in West Africa. And then we also have scaling partners, CNFA and IFDC. And they are implementing organizations while we do a lot of R&D. So we're hoping this partnership really helps us scale innovation in the future. A little bit more about our consortium model. As I mentioned, we're UC Davis led. There is a management entity at UC Davis, which includes myself, Dr. Mitchum, and our colleague Archie Jarman, although that is growing. And we really help get the contracting out. We help move around resources as needed. We help facilitate subcontracts and partners in the field. We also aim to have country hubs. So those are people that will be in country in Ghana, based in Ghana, and help manage all of our ongoing research projects there, and really provide a stable entity that can build relationships, look into collaborative opportunities, et cetera. And we will try to establish those country hubs after the regional workshops. I haven't mentioned, but we are just beginning this work. We just were awarded in September. So we're trying to get things up and running, meet new people, and the regional workshop is the beginning of all of that. So thank you so much for being here. And we do hope to start engaging with country hubs after this. And then we also have competitively awarded grants. And so that will go through, those partners will be brought in through a traditional competitive awarding model. We'll put out an RFP and we'll get proposals, and those successful proposals will become partners and of course be implementing research as well. And together with these three entities, our competitively awarded partners, our country hubs that remain stable over time, and then the UC Davis-led consortium, we hope to make collaborative decisions around regional project needs identification, implementation, iterative design processes, and then of course, information dissemination. So why horticulture? Many of you already know this, why horticulture is so important, but just to back us up a bit, we have a food insecurity issue globally that many of us work on with most of our time. And this figure here shows the concentration and distribution of food insecurity by severity and how it differs across the region and in the world globally. So here on the left-hand side, you can see this is the total population is in green, and then the orange and red bubbles represent moderate food insecurity and severe food insecurity. And you can see that the most severe food insecurity is happening in Asia by population. But here in Africa, we see that food insecurity, severe and moderate food insecurity, is happening more relative to the whole population. And I just want to point out, because I believe you'll be discussing this a lot today, that it is really critical to not just look at aggregate numbers, but also look at the disaggregate and how different trends are affecting different groups of people. So here we can see globally and in every region, the prevalence of food insecurity is higher among women than men. So on the left-hand side, the very left-hand column, that's the world globally. And the darker shades of orange and green represent moderate food insecurity, and the lighter, or I'm sorry, opposite. The lighter shades of green and orange represent moderate food insecurity, and the darker colors of green and orange represent severe food insecurity. And within those, the green represents women and the orange represents men. So here you can see in both categories of food insecurity, both moderate and severe, women are experiencing this in greater numbers than men. And this isn't to say that that men are doing so much better in these severe food insecurity buckets, but it is to show that there's a difference. And it's incredibly important when we're thinking about nutrition and general calorie counts, that there will be a difference between different groups of people and how they're experiencing food insecurity. And we as a community, I think, have started to realize that calories and counting calories is not the only way and cannot be the only way in which to think about food insecurity. Proper diet is critical to bringing many people out of generational stunting, for cognitive development, as well as physical development, et cetera. You really need a diverse diet, and a big part of that is fruits and vegetables. This is an example from the US. This is a plate that the USDA, the US Department of Agriculture, uses to show people what is a healthy diet. And so they're trying to convey here that half your plate, half your diet should be fruits and vegetables, and the other should be grains and protein with a side of dairy. Almost all federal or domestic nutrition guidelines across the globe recognize the importance of fruits and vegetables. Yet you can see here that very few people are actually getting enough fruits and vegetables. This is a global issue. However, this is a graph for the Feed the Future countries from a few years ago. And the vegetable is orange, the pink is fruit, and the blue represents total amount of fruit and vegetable consumption. And so you can see here that very few people are actually attaining the recommended amounts of fruits and vegetables. However, you can see here, Ghana is actually doing quite well, according to this chart a few years ago. So that this isn't necessarily the case right now, but it looks like we do have some lessons to learn from Ghana, and we're in the right place talking about fruits and vegetables. And I will say before I move on, is that we are also facing not just an issue with consumption, but production of fruits and vegetables is becoming more and more of an issue. And that if people were to truly start eating the amounts of fruits and vegetables that are required to have a healthy diet across the globe, we would not have enough fruits and vegetables. So that is a macro issue that we also need to be considering. But fruits and vegetables are also really good for increasing farmer income. This is where the money is, as a partner we had in Zambia said. It's a high value crop. It offers income diversification, and intensive farming on small plots of land is possible. So it's easy to get into fruits and vegetables, even if you have a small amount of land. It's also great for women and youth in horticulture. Women are already heavily engaged in horticulture, crop production, and marketing traditionally. We see that the head of household, which is usually a man, is more involved with the cash crops, which are the staple crops more traditionally, like rice and soybean, et cetera. For women and youth, horticulture can be grown, again, on small plots of land or alongside the staple crops. Fruits and vegetables also have a short growing cycle, so you can get money rather quickly, which is helpful for young people, especially who are going through different transitions in life. And then horticulture is great for resilience. It can be grown as a part of diversified cropping system, which bolsters your adaptability if something goes wrong with one crop. And it's also fast nutrition and money when experiencing external shocks. So again, you can grow those crops. There's short maturing cycles, and you have something that's ready to sell. I'm running out of time a bit, but just to give you a little background on how we as the Horticulture Innovation Lab want to navigate all these opportunities in fruits and vegetables. We absolutely believe in an interdisciplinary approach. As is reflected in the consortium, we believe that addressing challenges in horticulture requires an environmental, economic, social, cultural, and technical lens. We also very much believe in a systems approach. We think holistically on a systems level for achieving research deliverables. Value chain work is important, but also considering behavior chain, supply and demand issues, and of course, inclusive innovation development, which I think is critical, and I don't have time to talk about today, but making sure we're addressing the needs of all different types of subgroups is very important to moving all of us forward and not just a few. We are locally led and globally supported. So our model is really to have leadership and direction and prioritization, all led by those that are in country, really making sure that our projects PIs, the principal investigators, are based in country and are able to be supported globally, of course, but that we sort of flip this idea that because we're funded by USAID, all the leadership and principal investigators should be based in the US. We believe that for the next 5 years, we will be funding those in country to lead this work. We have a theory of change, which I will not go into. Considering the different projects that we fund and our locally led, globally supported model with partners, all of you which are in the room, academics, NGOs, private sector, policymakers, market entities, we really hope to make this larger impact around developing local networks, building resilient horticulture systems, increased community nutrition, inclusive and profitable market systems, and seeing this equity piece, gender equity, youth, and social inclusion. And we will do this through the different types of projects we hope to fund. One group of projects will be system-wide, called market-oriented research for empowerment projects. We will choose a certain system and really try to approach the challenge holistically. And that is a lot of your work at this workshop over the next 2 days, is to identify what in the region really needs to be taken on by research. And considering research's limitations and it's the opportunity of research, what are challenges that we can tackle in the next 5 years now? So we are really hoping that this is part of your discussion during this regional workshop. We'll also be funding critical engagement projects. Will be shorter, more to the point, and will inform all of our more projects without being regional. So I'll close right here. But the purpose of this workshop, why you're all here today, is to capture the landscape of horticulture and its socioeconomic linkages. So much research has already been done, so much reading and literature assessment has been done in order to bring us to this moment. And I think a lot of that information will be presented. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel, but based on what we have already learned, we need to determine opportunities and challenges to move forward in the next 5 years, and based on your own opinions. So I think that you will have an excellent couple of days of discussions. I'm really hoping at the end of this workshop, we have a set of priorities that recommend different challenges that we should take on as the Horticulture Innovation Lab to solve in the next 5 years. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone. Again, I really wish I could be there. And I'm just so grateful to the University of Ghana for hosting this. Everyone has been brilliant, and I know the discussions will go so well. So thank you so much. Have an excellent day.